Hi, and welcome to Three Questions With. Got my friends from Amann and Burnett with us. Good afternoon, Patrick. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Just living the dream, my friend. So, Patrick, jump in. Tell us a little bit about the area law that you practice.
Well, I do a little bit of everything, whatever Josh and Bill asked me to do. But, prior to joining the firm, I've done a lot of different things. I started my career as a prosecutor, doing primarily domestic violence cases. Then I went out with a couple partners and ran a small law firm for a few years. And then after that, I went in-house for a startup client. So my experience kind of cuts both ways. I've worked both in the civil and criminal context and in-house advising a single business client.
So now, do you practice bankruptcy currently?
I don't currently. My hope is to learn more about it from the two
Yep.
experts I work for, but I
Sure.
pretty much do everything that's ancillary to that. So I tend to just call myself a general litigator.
Yep.
Pretty much anything litigated, we'll handle. But
Can you just give me some examples of that so people know what it means when you say you're a litigator?
well, we do, civil litigation in general, which is like, construction, contractor disputes, land
Yep.
use, zoning. I've done a fair amount of administrative licensing work in the past and administrative law issues and compliance.
Now, that's super helpful because I find a lot of people just have disagreements with their contractors. Whether that, especially when it comes to payment, sometimes we don't get paid in time to process. So you can help people who find themselves in that type of situation.
Yeah, that's one of the areas that we specialize in. Try to apply a practical approach to that. And what I mean by that is, let's have a conversation first, see if we can find common ground, work something out. You know, if that doesn't work out, that doesn't happen to be the case. Oftentimes that's what happens when people call me. Then we litigate disputes and hopefully bring about the best result for our clients.
That's one of the things I really liked about Bill when I first met him. And I hate to be nice to Bill because, he's Bill and stuff, but that was our very first conversation. He said exactly what you just said. I try to be reasonable and find a middle ground. And when he said that, that was 10, 12 years ago. I still remember it to this day because I really like that approach. There's no reason to sue people when you can just be gentlemen about it. Hey, let's just find a middle ground and solve it. That's a good approach, right, Patrick?
Yeah, that's generally the way that I approach the practice of law. That's really what we're here to do as lawyers is resolve disputes. And I think, our obligation to our clients is to do that in the quickest and most cost-effective way possible. And oftentimes, in fact, almost all the time, that isn't litigation. So if we can get it done a cheaper, easier way, then obviously we aim to do that.
I really like that because I've just seen people who want to go to court and fight over something that it's insignificant. It's like, Patrick, how much are you willing to spend to do that? It doesn't make sense. So having someone to just calmly explain that to them and get the emotions out of it really is super helpful, right?
Yeah, anytime you're making a decision and you're doing so, from a place of emotion, all of us have been there. You can't be objective.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what you need an attorney for. Frankly, when you can't see the forest from the trees because you're involved in something that causes you an emotional reaction, well, you've got to have somebody else take a step back and really look at it objectively for you.
Amen. So, Patrick, what's the best way to reach out to you? How can people learn more?
Well, the best way to get a hold of me is probably my email, my first initial P, last name Lorman at amberlaw.com. There's our office number, 603-696-5401, and my cell phone, 603-802-9933.
Patrick, I appreciate you taking a few minutes to come on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thanks a lot, Kevin.